Okay. Weighted mean often involves tables. Okay. But there are two situations that we're going to cover. Percentages and the other one is repetition. They often involve tables. I will say, make a little star, often involve tables. Weighted mean, most of your teachers have different weights for different categories, right? You've got a weight for assignments, you've got a weight for tests, you've got a weight for exams. Everything is weighted differently, which literally means some things are heavier than others. Okay? That's literally like they have different weights. If you don't do good on an exam, it's going to hurt you more than if you don't do well on an AC because the weights are so different, okay? And I think most of you understand that. So I'm going to deal with percentages today, okay? Involving percentages. So if you are encountering a weighted mean situation and the table involves percentages, when you notice that the table or the problem involves percentages, okay, you want to check. I'm going to use a different color for this part. You want to check to see if a row or column adds up to 100%, because it won't always. Most of the time it will, but not always. If the answer is yes, we divide by 100%. Divide our final sum by 100%. Okay? So when you notice a table and there's like one category which has to do with the scores you got in every different category, and you have a weight that goes with it, okay, then you know you're in weighted mean situation. So we want to, in this case, calculate Janice's average score, the mean score. This is a weighted mean. Involving percentages. I want you to always think of these three steps. And you know you're going to be in statistics, okay? I want you to multiply. Then I want you to add. Sorry. And last, I want you to divide. And I'm going to use three different colors on this one. I'm going to use orange, green, and purple. Okay. So multiply, I will use orange. For adding, I will use green. For dividing, I will use purple. Pink, purple, I don't know. Red, like red onions, I don't know. So here's what I mean with this. When I say multiply, I want you to multiply across the two columns or rows like this. So whatever color you use for multiply, we're going to figure it out. We're going to go times, 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 times. You can do it right on the table. We're fine with that. So let's do that. 45 times 15, 675. 39 times 20 is 780. 85 times 25 is 2125. and then 90 times 40 is 3,600. Can you tell which one of these, like assignments, quizzes, midterms, exams, which one has the highest impact on your overall score? Exams. Okay? You can tell now for sure. Okay? If you do really good on it, it brings you up quite a bit. If you do really bad on it, it actually brings you down quite a bit. Okay? So that's how it goes. The next step is add. Okay? So I'm going to actually, I hope this works. The next step is I add my results. This is literally what we do for your final mark. Okay? The computer does it, but this is what's happening in the background. Okay? So now we're ready to come up with our average. Let's add that all up. 675. I already have 3,600 on my calculator, so I'm going to add 2125. I'm going to add 780. I'm going to add 675. That's 7180. Okay? So 7180. This is the sum of all of these products. That's what you call an answer to a multiplication. Okay? 7180, 7,180. Now, when you divide, before you divide, we're going to have to do some checks. We notice this is percentages. So let's see which row adds up to 100. Let's check the first one, 45, 39, 85, 90. That's already way over 100. So that is not even the case. Let's check this one. 15 and 20 is 35. This would be 60, and 40 is equal to 100. If you see that, I can already highlight that in pink, and I'll say that's what I'm going to divide this whole thing by. Okay? So I'm just automatically, when you notice that there's percentage, and sometimes both are in percentage, but just add up and see if one adds up to 100. If it is, you're guaranteed, watch this, I'm going to go arrow. You have to divide. The question is, what are you going to have to divide by? If it adds up to 100, that's what you're going to divide. So if you multiply, or when you divide this, you get 71.80%. And please leave it like that. Leave it as a decimal. My grade keeper does everything to 2 decimals, 1 or 2 decimals, I forget. It's when we do your report cards where we round it, but technically this is what's happening in the background. Okay. So that's how you do percentages. Can we do this one right here at the bottom? Calculate Janice's average if every category weighed the same. If every category weighed the same. Meaning every single one, assignments, quizzes, midterms, exam. This is how you would do it. You take the score of the assignments, you take the score of the quizzes, of the midterms, of the exam, and we divide it by 1, 2, 3, 4. We're just dividing it by 4. Because we're like, hey, everything is worth the same. We don't have to multiply this by the weights. Like, there's no point of that. Everything is worth the same. So let's do that. 45 plus 39 plus 85 plus 90. That's 259 divided by 4. What do you think? Is it going to be higher or lower? The average. It's 64.75. Why is that? Why is there such a big difference? If everything weighs the same, you messing up on that very first assignment, right? 45, it weighs you down quite a bit because everything is worth the same, even that 39. So even if you catch up later, it's not gonna help you a whole lot, okay? Whereas this, oh, it's almost home time. Whereas this scenario, the midterm and the exam are worth a whole lot. So if you mess up on the lighter weights, you'll be okay because the heavier weighted items you did really good on. Okay, so that's technically what we should all do as teachers. The first stuff shouldn't be weighed that much, right? It's once you get to the test, that's when it weighs more. If you could try page 40. That